Alright, so today we want to talk about poop. Anybody in the dog business, especially if they're boarding dogs, yeah, they need to be thinking, nobody really wants to talk about it, it's like, yuck, poop. There's a few things that are not too appropriate to discuss while you're dining concerning dogs and poop. But here we go. May not be for the lighthearted. So first of all, think about ways of disposing poop, storing it until you can find a place to dispose of it. There's a number of things to talk about. Let's start with surfaces, okay? So this is called spaghetti hog. It's not bark mulch. It's, similar. It's a wood product. But the beauty of this stuff is if you're at a property such as this where, you got your areas where you don't want poop, then you've got brush, you've got jungle over here, and you can just, chuck the poop into the jungle to, break down naturally without plastic bags involved. That's ideal. There's only one downside to that, which we'll talk about. So in an area like this, yeah, if you have a messy poop and this stuff is down, you can just take a thin layer of this. Like imagine taking a 1/4 inch of this stuff right here and just flicking the whole thing off to the side. So yeah, that's one option. The other option is gravel. So 3/4 inch crust I find is the best option for gravel if you're using it as opposed to pea gravel, etc. And some kennels, well, for years kennels have done the bleach routine, which, I'm not saying don't do that, I'm just saying research it. We have a very small operation here. It's not like we have 40 dogs per day. And what we do is if we get, one poop in the pen or two poops, and we've got a couple pens, small ones right here, what we do is just hose it through. This hose is fully loaded. I just flick the switch here. It's good to go. It's on standby. We don't have very many dogs in this pen. We generally let them just run around the property or use the bigger pen off to the side of the house. But if a poop ends up in here, I'm not going to break out the bleach and start, going crazy on it. I'll just scoop as well as I can. Then if there's a little bit of poop just on the surface here, I'll just blast it with the hose and it'll go down to the, it'll, just keep working its way down. There's 9 inches of gravel here. And by the way, just a side note that 9 inches is the magic figure. If you've got 6 or 5 inches of gravel, dogs seem to sense that there's dirt down there and they'll keep digging until they find it. But if you got 9 inches or more, you're pretty safe as far as digging goes. So back to the poop, just hose it through. If you want to bleach it, you can. If you want to use some other disinfectant that is less toxic than bleach, maybe we'll get into that another time. So other things to consider is just a leaf blower. Okay, if I got a poop, see the leaves right there? They were just blown yesterday. And if I got a poop right here on the lawn, I'll just hit that for about 1 second with the leaf blower. Bam, off it goes into the jungle. So that's yet another option. If you are scooping, you want to go with the industrial strength pooper scooper. This beauty here is dirt cheap. I think it was like 19 bucks for both the shovel and the plastic scoop, underlined plastic, better than metal. It's just easy to clean, it's got tons of capacity, and it's great. You're walking around, this long handle is the ticket, you don't have to break your back every time you want to scoop. Easy to hose out. And a little tip with this is just get it wet before using it. Just, get some water in there, and then everything just slides off. So as far as chucking your poop into the jungle, the only downside to that is if, well, any flies or rats, actually, I've heard this, I'm not sure if it's true, I've heard that if there's any undigested food that hasn't broken down in that poop, that rats or flies will be attracted to it. So, yeah, one potential downside. Haven't had a big issue with that. And, yeah, the last thing we need to talk about is if the poop is being taken off the property, you want to check with your municipality, see what their bylaws are. It doesn't have to be bagged in an airtight, in a garbage bag with a twist lock. And if or do they have specific rules about not taking any poop, no matter how it's disposed of. So check with the municipality. I find that municipalities here in the Greater Victoria area, you can put anything in that garbage bag, and so long as there's a twist on it, they'll take it, including dog poop. Yeah, the last thing we should talk about is a lime pit. Just putting a lime pit. Actually, you can Google this. It's a little technical to explain, but just in a nutshell, you're digging a trench 4 or 5 feet long in a V shape. You're putting the poop in there, chucking a bit of lime in, covering it back up, and you're going to have some nice rich soil there the following season or 2 years down the line. So that's just a few things to consider if you're in the dog business. Or maybe you're just a dog nut, you've got 5 dogs at home. Just a few things to consider in terms of easy cleanup. Over and out.